Climate Action Force Go is a cooperative game for ages 8 and up in which players act as countries working together as a coalition to prevent global effects of climate change from destroying the world. Each country also has its individual goals that result in one player earning the title of Winner of Winners. Pursuing goal cards may jeopardize the group's ability to solve crises, so players are faced with strategic choices about prioritizing the group or themselves. These choices mirror real-world scenarios that countries, corporations, and NGOs face in determining environmental policy. Players use resource cards of different point values to combat each crisis that emerges, ranging from level 1, which are relatively easy to defeat like poor recycling, invasive pets, or the urban heat island effect, to level 4, which require multiple players to pull high character point values to overcome. Examples of these would include climate refugee crises, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and sea level rise. The effectiveness of different characters varies with the applicability of their skills to potential solutions. Tension in the game builds towards the end, as more crises emerge, which each impending new disaster card that is drawn from the resource deck, ending with the round after the fourth and final impending disaster card is drawn. If there are 6 crisis cards active before this happens, then Earth becomes uninhabitable and the team loses. However, if less than 6 crisis cards are active at this point, and the team has defeated crisis cards with a total of 24 or greater, then society survives and players win. Jamie, Vish, and May are starting the first turn of their game. Jamie begins the game by placing both of their red policy cards on the wildfires crisis, since policy cards count for twice as much on that crisis, making their total of 7 resource points count as 14. Jamie wants to make sure that they can meet their martyr goal card by having no cards in hand, so they play their Turn the Tide goal card as a single resource point on the wildfires as well. Jamie has now completed 3 actions, so they end their turn by completing the martyr goal because they have no resource cards in hand, and they complete the campaign promise goal for completing another goal. Vish goes next and decides to use the green engineering 5 card he has in his hand to complete the wildfires crisis and places it next to him to indicate that he placed the card that solved the crisis. Then Vish draws the blue science 1 and decides to play it on the invasive pet crisis to make sure that he can accomplish the try anything goal by not playing any resource on a crisis that doubles their value. Vish also accomplishes the turn a blind eye goal by ensuring that the smog crisis has no resources applied to it. May begins her turn by drawing a card from the resource deck. She then allocates her 2 strength engineering card to the smog crisis, realizing that by doing this she can then reallocate it and solve the invasive pest crisis, while also completing her new priorities goal for reallocating it, and her anti-elitism goal to not play any resources above strength 4 this turn. Now that the turn is over, the players, in turn order for the round, draw goal cards until they each have 3 in their hands. Then for each revealed impending disaster card, they flip a crisis from the crisis deck into play. After these steps have been completed, Vish becomes the first player of a new round, and the game continues. The game is ended with the round after the 4th and final impending disaster card was drawn. The players have managed to keep the number of active crises at 6 or below so they don't lose the game. However, they also need to have solved crises with a total value of at least 24 to ensure the world is not destroyed. Luckily they have, with a total of 9 crisis points for Jamie, 6 for Vish, and 11 for May, for a total of 26. Now the players count their completed goals and crises, which only count for a single point when determining the winner of winners in the game. Jamie has 4 completed goals and 4 crises for a total of 8. Vish has 5 goals and 3 crises for a total of 8. And May has 2 goals and 4 crises for a total of 6. Jamie and Vish are tied, so we have 2 winners. We hope to use Climate Action Force Go as a fun, strategic, fast-paced card game, which engages the public with environmental policy in a way that makes a topic often considered extremely complex more accessible, facilitating further engagement with climate issues. Climate Action Force Go aims to employ meaningful play to foster dialogue and spread knowledge about climate change.